Hello, everyone. Yes, another completely unplanned live stream. Lunchtime with Tom pre-summer special. Turkey and provolone sandwich on wheat bread. And I may end up having to close my door because I am potentially being interrupted by cats. I usually have my bedroom door closed for these live streams just for the heck of it, but the door is open right now, so I could have feline intruders. No, what do you call it? Not a photo bomb, but a stream bomb with cats. I'm going to live dangerously and leave my door open for now. But yes. In case you missed, turkey and provolone on wheat bread with Ruffles potato chips. Picture enlarged for texture. How's everybody doing today? Very well, I hope. And again, like the last one, the mood just struck me like 5-10 minutes beforehand, and I just decided to, it's lunchtime, do another special Lunchtime with Tom live stream. It's been almost a month since I did my last live stream, so why not? Excuse me, I'm going to start eating. Good sandwich, as always. And I'm hearing paw prints on my laminate wood floor here. What you doing here? Don't jump on the counter while I've got my food on it. Cats, you know. Ben, how's it going? Been a while. Good afternoon, Noah and Alyssa. I don't know if both of you are watching or just one, but good to have you guys here. I'm doing well. Gorgeous weather here in Oregon. Don't mean to rub it in for those of you who are not having gorgeous weather. I know a good chunk of the country is under a pretty heavy heat wave right now. I guess I just looked on the news yesterday morning, and I guess Salt Lake City was expecting a high of 100 or something yesterday. So, and that's for Salt Lake City. That's up there. So, but yes, nice weather. Up until yesterday, for like a week or so, we had cloudy and rainy weather. So, not totally typical for so early in June here. So, again, hopefully that'll stave off the fire season or make it a little bit less severe. I could be jinxing it by saying that because I said that last year and we had one of the worst fire seasons, although it was saved itself until late in the season here in Oregon. So maybe I better shut up about that. Anyway, yeah, mid 80s in Indiana, not bad. Yeah, I can deal with mid 80s. It's when it gets into I can actually deal with when it touches the 90-degree mark. When it gets warmer than that, though, mid 90s or so, it affects me. So hopefully with the what I've got going on later at the end of next month, I don't want to spoil that, but hopefully that weather will not be. I will have the potential for subjecting myself to 90s plus weather. So we'll see what happens in that respect. I'm just so teasing with some of these little hints about what's coming up, aren't I? Don't worry, you guys will see it after the fact. I'm planning for at least a few videos to come out of my big mysterious thing later this summer. I know, Trekkies, I hope to, that is my Star Trek and general geekiness channel that I keep wanting to launch and get off the ground. It is not off the ground yet. I was thinking beginning of this year I was going to do it. Actually, I think I was going to do it last year. Wasn't I saying that last year? So hopefully sometime this year it will eventually come forth. It's trying to get enough videos stockpiled for this channel so that I can get time to make videos for that channel. That's going to be the tricky part, the juggling multiple balls in the air thing. So hopefully, I hope to eventually get a rhythm down where I can do that. So I have never been to Indiana before. I flew through Chicago O'Hare one time back in 2015, and that's as close as I've ever come to actually being on the ground in or near Indiana. So yeah, I wouldn't mind visiting Indiana at some point. So. Oh, Sean. Hello, Sean. A new face, or a new avatar, I guess you'd say, in the group. What's my favorite album so far this year? Good question. It's going to be between The Offspring's latest album. I thought was really, really good. I really enjoyed that one. And I'm still trying to decide which Weezer album this year I like better, whether it's, OK Human or Van Weezer. Because OK Human, to me, was more substantial in the lyrics department, but I'm an 80s kid, so the 80s influenced electric guitar, rock kind of stuff, the sound of Van Weezer, I like. So that's juggling. That's going to be in my top 5, or one of the Weezer albums is going to be in my top 5, definitely. But oh gosh, there's another one that's almost definitely in my top 5. I can't remember what it is now. Yay me for having my notes in front of me, which I don't. But yeah. And I'm thinking I'm going to do, possibly as a collaboration with someone else, a favorite albums of the first half of 2021. So that potentially ties into these later this summer big thing, mysterious thing that I was mentioning just a minute ago. So yeah, you think Van Weezer is better? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So I'd have to give each one of them a few more spins, obviously, before I make up my mind on that definitively. But yeah, I also really have been enjoying Barry Gibb. Is it Barry? Yeah, Barry Gibb's album that he did way back at the beginning of the year. It was a collaborative effort that he did with a bunch of other musicians, reworkings, country and folk reworkings of Bee Gees or Barry Gibb songs. That's really good. Greenfields is the name of it. It's really, really good. So that's probably going to be in my top 5 as it stands now. There are several albums coming out in the next month or so, though, that could be contenders also. Some stuff that I've really been looking forward to. So let me see if I can... I have an awkward moment of silence here while I look up those albums, because I have them on my calendar. Tom Odell is coming out with his new album Monsters next week, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And a British R&B / soul / a little bit of world music singer named Laura Mvula is coming out with her new album Pink Noise the week after, on July 2nd. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I've just really gotten into her in the last year or so. She's just fantastic. Bare Naked Ladies, John Mayer, and Leon Bridges are all coming out with their new albums in July. And Jake Bugg is coming out with his new album Saturday Night, Sunday Morning in August. And so I've really been looking forward for that one too. Looking forward to that one too. Yes, I can speak. Oh yeah, that Bleachers one. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So, yes, I am very, very much looking forward to Bleachers at the end of July. I don't have that one on my calendar because I've already put in the pre-order for it, so it's coming, so I don't need to worry about watching for it. So that's the only reason I didn't mention it, Noah. Don't chastise me too badly. I really should work on eating my lunch, because that's kind of what I have this hour for. So what else has everybody else been doing? Oh, as you can see, my Discogs sale inventory here has been slowly but steadily shrinking. I've been doing pretty well, better than I thought at my Discogs inventory. So that's always a pleasant surprise. I thought I had just a bunch of crap, but I've had a few things obviously people have been wanting. So which Bleachers album do I like more out of the first two? Their first one, Strange Desire. I like just for a few different reasons. It's a little bit more catchy, a little bit more ear-grabbing than sophomore album Gone Now. That one has much more lyrical depth. I will give it that. But I've, call me superficial, but I like the hooks a little bit more than the lyrics. It takes me more time to absorb the lyrics than it does to absorb the melodies, which is probably par for the course for everybody. But yeah, I give the edge to Strange Desire. The new Maroon 5, I loved the first Maroon 5 album, and I liked the second one, and I just kind of fell off the fan wagon after that and really have not paid any attention to them at all since then. So, and the two people that I've read or seen reviews of from, I believe it was Ryan, True North Reviews, and Keegan over at K-Man Reviews, they both gave it a pretty lukewarm score at best. I think Ryan gave it a lukewarm, and Keegan gave it an unfavorable rating. So that doesn't really compel me to listen to it. So, which, yeah. Sorry, reading comments here. Yeah. But those of you who are Maroon 5 fans, or at least early Maroon 5 fans, you guys know of their major label release that came out before they were Maroon 5? You probably don't. They were a group called Kara's Flowers, Kara''S Flowers, and they had an album called The Fourth World, which was really good. So seek that. I don't know if it's on any streaming services. It's been out of print for years and years and years, and I actually had it once on CD, and foolishly, that's yet another one that I got rid of for some stupid reason. So I'm kind of got my eyes out for it. So if I find it for a decent price, I will pick it up. Not that it's not out there for a decent price. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. So yeah, you do? Cool. Yeah. Ben knows music. Legend BTV, your YouTube source for music. How's that for a catchy slogan? Anyway, yeah, I'm squandering my time talking to you people when I should be eating. Just kidding. Let's see, what else is going on? I have no idea. My employer has, they decided just last week that they have added Juneteenth to their official holiday calendar every year. So I found out just a little over a week ahead of time that I'm getting a 3-day weekend this year. Not that that's the thing to observe Juneteenth about. It's, for those of you who may not know, and for those of you who may be outside the U.S., Juneteenth is the, not necessarily the date of the Emancipation Proclamation, but the date that the southern states, it kind of went into effect in the southern states. And so it basically does, effectively, it does celebrate the emancipation of the slaves, the end of slavery in the United States. So, and it looks like we are a hair's breadth away from actually making it a federal holiday here in the States, which I really appreciate. I love. So, yeah. So that's kind of cool. I'm getting one extra 3-day weekend a year. So I don't mind that. I know what you mean, Ben. I really went into a Target the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and the CD section was shockingly small anymore. And yeah, I've been into a Walmart where the CD section is just almost gone. So yeah, I really miss that. So, but then it's been years and years since I've really cared much for buying CDs at the big box stores, because, I mean, well, for one thing, I have access to independent record stores. A lot of people out there don't. So yeah, I prefer to, much rather prefer to buy my records and CDs at independent record stores. Sometimes, though, they've been having trouble getting them, so excuse me, what do you call it? I break down and I buy them off of Amazon or some other place where I know I'll be able to get them on time. So, but not to worry, because I do support my independent record stores just as much. That's very small dent. Buying a new release every once in a while from Amazon is a very small dent in what I buy from independent stores. So. Plus, independent stores make more of a profit off of used merchandise than they do new merchandise anyway. So if you have a choice between buying the thing you're looking for, new or used, buy it used, because the store gets more money that way. So. There's CDs in a dark corner. Almost like you're dealing drugs or some other illicit substance or something. Yeah, that's inviting. That shows how much they care about their CDs anymore, huh? That's unfortunate. It's putting the sour cream on the sandwich instead of mayonnaise that just gives it that extra oomph. And got to give you guys the ASMR crunch. Oh yeah, Bezos is really struggling right now. Yeah. You know, that huge amount of tax that he pays. Do not get me started on what George Carlin called the upper 1%. Actually did. Amen, Sean. Tax the rich, definitely. My least favorite kinds of chips, basically any of them that are hot and spicy, the hot and spicy flavors. I just don't like hot and spicy. A little bit of warmth. I mean, I like the plain or the regular flavored Doritos and that kind of thing. You know, the tortilla chips that are mildly spicy. I like those, but yeah. So that's probably, and there's some chip out there, and I don't know if they still make it or not, but that had a lime, like a lime and sea salt variety or something like that. I might be misremembering that, but although I do like salt and vinegar flavored chips. There's something about that zing in the flavor, that, you know, for lack of a better word. And I did another CD purge. I think. Let me see if I can show the camera to the stack of CDs that I have. If I mount it correctly. Yes. All those CDs I've taken off my shelf, and they're pretty much a bunch of crap that I doubt anybody's going to be interested in. I already offered up the list of the most likely candidates to a friend or two, and they didn't want any of them, so I don't know. And they're not obscure enough to be worth posting on Discogs, so I'm probably just going to try selling them to a local store. Oh, you don't like vinegar? Oh, shame on you. You need to expand your palate, Ben. Which it'll probably happen as you grow older. It did with me. How do I feel about brownies? I love brownies, but I don't like nuts in them. I'm picky about nuts. So, but I love brownies. We were actually at Olive Garden the other day, Sunday, and they have what do they call it? A brownie lasagna. So it's like layers of brownie, and I guess I don't know if it's like white chocolate or white fudge or something, thin little layers of white fudge in between the brownies. So it's stacked and looks like a lasagna. They got some pretty darn good desserts there at Olive Garden, I gotta say. What's in the stack? Oh, I got Scissor Sisters Night Work. I got 2 Metallica albums, Load and Reload. A couple of albums by The Stripes. A couple of albums by Drake Bell, because I had Drake Bell, but if you have heard the news that's come out about him, I don't know, even if it's not true and he is the charges are dropped with him, it's still, I'm still hesitant to get rid of his latest album, Ready Steady Go, but his two earlier albums, I haven't listened to him in years anyway. So yeah, long complicated story with Drake Bell. It's complicated. So and if it does happen that he is convicted and found guilty, then I probably will get rid of Ready Steady Go. But I gotta say, he is talented, and that album shows his talents more than any other. But still, you kind of have to draw the line at a certain point at someone. You can only separate the art from the artist so much. So I don't know. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I guess so. The 1975. I've got their first two albums in the stack. I'm going to give them one more re-listen because I've done this 2 or 3 times. I've put them in the stack, listened to them, and then, okay, I'm not going to get rid of them, so I put them back on my shelf. So it's like every time I listen to them is only when I consider getting rid of them. So it's kind of like, why bother keeping them if that's the only time I listen to them, So it's like, now that I have access to streaming, it's kind of, I have 3,000 CDs, so it's like, do I really need all these CDs to take up space if I can just stream the albums with a thought, I've got an old Willie Nelson duets compilation called Half Nelson. The Chieftains and Mark O'Connor, for any Irish people out there that might be up your alley. Oh gosh, Casey Abrams, a couple of Natalie Cole, her more recent albums that she did, old standards stuff. The Very Best of Chubby Checker, I have that. A couple of Pink albums, The Truth About Love and Hurts to Be Human. So, like I said, I liked them for a while, and it's kind of like I've outgrown them, So I am, aren't I, Noah? So yeah. And Fits in the Tantrums, their self-titled album from a couple of years ago. I got rid of their most recent album just because it kind of, I realized it was just not all that great, not as good as I thought it was at the beginning. And now this, with a delayed reaction, the same thing has happened with their self-titled. But I do like the one before it. Its name escapes me now. I really enjoy that one. The one with the dark cover. Really, really like that one. And then Macy Gray, her album On How Life Is. Yay, eyeglasses. So, and yeah, that's the bulk. Oh, Train's album Bulletproof Picasso. I like pretty much all their albums up to then. I gotta say, the honeymoon with Train was really over when I heard their last album, A Girl, a Bottle, a Boat. My God, that was boring. Good Lord. One of the most boring albums I'd heard in years, I think. So yeah. And Bulletproof Picasso was the one. Oh no, they did a covers version of Led Zeppelin 2 for some ungodly reason. That was the one before A Girl, a Bottle, a Boat. And Bulletproof Picasso was, I think, the one before that. So. Yeah, I agree, Ben. I mean, streaming audio quality is good enough for me. So I'm not like the audiophile kind of a person. So, well, yes, I like to be a little bit more diplomatic than you, Sean. So yeah, you can go ahead and give it the full bore. It was awful. So yeah, and but I am another artist that kind of is like Train in that they get, I think, a little too much harsh criticism, is John Mayer. And when he put out dropped the cover art for his new album, Sob Rock, which, okay, the name is a little bit cringy. When he dropped the cover image for that, it got kind of blasted on the internet. Not for any negative thing, just because it looked kind of corny, but I'm an 80s kid, and that the album cover is very, very 80s reminiscent. So, and John Mayer might be a cringy artist or a cliche. I don't know. Cliche is not the right word, but anyway, but he is super talented. I saw him in concert when he did the concert tour with Sheryl Crow, and it blew my mind. I thought he was just okay up till that point, but he just blew me away with his. I mean, he is a mean guitarist. So yes, I am looking. That is one of the albums I think I mentioned a little bit ago. That's one of them that I'm looking forward to. So yes, Sean, thank you. Bring back album. Well, I don't want to. Okay, bring back album diaries. Okay, he'll think about it. And no, that's not a hint toward what's to come or anything. I don't want to spoil stuff. Suffice it to say, I want to, and I'm going to at some point launch my own take on album diaries, because I loved Noah's version of it so much. So yeah. So I said I didn't want to spoil anything, but something like that will be coming soon. Yeah, Noah, you did better than I did, didn't you? I will neither confirm nor deny that you have seen the last of album diaries from Noah. How's that? How was that for a poker face? Indeed, I am, Ben. I will be doing a little traveling this summer. And of course, being a YouTuber, I will, of course, put highlight reels and so forth on my YouTube channel. Oh, Noah. For when Ryan comes on and watches the video replay, he'll appreciate the ASMR crunch. So what time is it? It is 12:21. I have been doing this for almost half an hour. So cool. Yeah, I figure it'll be like the standard hour probably, in case I need to jump off for whatever reason. Yes, I'm sorry, Noah. Yeah, I'm normally pretty good at keeping secrets, but obviously sometimes I'm not. Well, still, I didn't outright spoil anything. I just anyway. What's for dinner? Or do you mean what's this? This is actually lunch. But yes, a turkey sandwich with provolone cheese on wheat bread. And I use sour cream instead of mayo. But what's for dinner is actually pork roast. Yes, one of these days, not too far in the future, I will give a try at a vegetarian diet. See, no hints there. We do still have, Ben is asking if we still have restrictions due to you know what. We do. We're actually one of, 3 or 4 states left that still have some form of restrictions. And the governor is willing to completely lift restrictions when we get 70% of the state's population vaccinated. And we're at 66 something, or is it 64 point something percent? So hopefully by July 4th, and it's either by July 4th, yeah, when we get 70% vaccinated statewide, or by July 4th, I think they're going to go ahead and lift the restrictions. So, yeah. Well, what can you do? I never imagined in my entire life that people would actually be reluctant to get a vaccine for a very highly contagious respiratory pandemic. But that's Americans for you. Yeah, it's just the whole my rights thing. You know, it boggles my mind how I'm going to try and explain this without rambling on how I feel about it, because I love living in America as far as the rights that we have. We can criticize our government without fear of being thrown in jail. And the last 4 years, there was plenty of stuff to criticize our government about. So that's great. But these other things, the more abstract freedoms, like, personal choice about, not having to wear a freaking piece of cloth over your face. Oh, the horrors. What does it hurt you? As I said, I'm trying to construct my thoughts so that they make sense. But, having rights just to say I have these rights, it's stupid and meaningless, I think. Rights mean nothing unless they do you and the people around you some good. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. To have rights just for the sake of having rights, and I think we Americans are spoiled in that regard. We have rights and we brag about it, and but there are a lot of people out there who have far fewer rights, and we exercise our rights just to exercise our rights. People who go to the supermarket with a gun holster and a gun in their hand or something, and the more wacko nutso people have actually an AR-15 or something strapped over their shoulder when they go to the freaking Safeway. And it's like, I'm going off on a tangent, and I'm probably not making much sense to you, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about, and kind of get where I'm going with this. But yeah, we Americans have been way spoiled with the rights that we have, so much so that we're taking them for granted, and we're making a huge fuss about rights that we don't need to make a huge fuss about. I see people freaking fist fighting in the stores over masks. And, and another thing, it's like, can't we extend the courtesy to the people around us? Because this is a freaking respiratory illness pandemic that's going around that's been killing people, that we can't just put a mask on for an hour or so while we're in the market getting our groceries? What happened to being courteous to our fellow Americans? That's what I want to know. Okay, I think the rant is over. I don't want to, my viewer count has gone down by 1, and I hope that's not the reason why. So yeah, you got the vaccine with no side effects. Awesome. Yeah, I had a mildly sore spot at the injection site each time for like a day, and that was it. So I was that lucky too. I keep saying going into these live streams that I'm not going to get into political stuff, but sometimes it tends to happen. And no, don't apologize with questions that you ask about it. But then when you think about it, again, last part of the rant here, should protecting each other from a deadly disease, should that even be a political issue? No, it shouldn't. It should be a common sense and common courtesy issue. That's my opinion. Just like the BLM thing. There, see? Yeah. I agree, Sean. Public health issues should not be political. Americans, and some people may disagree on me with this, but it tends to happen more with conservative Americans. There I go. I keep saying I'm going to stop talking about the stuff, and here I go. Love to politicize stuff that should not be politicized. It's a social issue or public health issue, should not be a political issue. But then there go the people with my rights. Oh, and don't you love the people who are anti-abortion? And now when they don't want to wear masks or don't want to have to get the vaccine, they say, my body, my choice. Irony, huh? Okay, so the Google moderator team deleted all of Sean's messages. Why did you do that, Google? Please put them back there. He's not saying something radical, okay? Google is a little bit... Google censorship, I have issues with it sometimes. Did the Google moderator team even read Sean's messages? Really? Okay, this is... let's see if we can make the rest of this a fun show. Thank you, Ben, for a music-related question. Get us off the political stuff. Have you ever created music of your own before of any kind? I have played a little bit with the very, very basic music creation apps. I've never tried, like writing a song with a guitar or a piano or anything. I can't play either, for one thing. And yeah, I've never tried writing poetry or lyrics because it would probably suck. So yeah, no, I haven't. I do envy the people who are musically inclined. Probably because I love music so much, it would be cool if I could make my own music. Maybe I'll dabble in it a little bit more someday. I don't know. Part of it, well, as I said, part of it is just not having the musical mindset of it. But it's also, there's also the little, when you do anything creative, there's that little fear of, oh no, people are going to think it's going to suck. So that has a little bit to do with it too, but it's mostly the not musically inclined part. I wonder if I can get in touch with the Google moderator team and see if they can reinstate Sean's messages. Because, pardon my language, but that's bullshit for them to censor those messages. Anyway. Favorite concert experience was definitely the Weird Al ridiculously self-indulgent and ill-advised vanity tour. because I had front row center seats. Well, seat. I went by myself. And yeah, I got the VIP package, the whole freaking. Okay, I'll divulge it here. It cost $200+ for the VIP package, so that was a big thing. But it was going to be probably a once in a lifetime thing. So, and we had the money to spend. So yeah, I unloaded. Went all whole hog on that and had the time of my freaking life. Got to meet Al. He signed a book that I took with me and got a bag of swag. And I also got to play Weird Al Jeopardy, which I basically cleaned up at, well, more or less. I didn't win first prize, but I pretty much cleaned up at it. Long story. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Another favorite concert experience for a different reason was when I went to see, as I mentioned a little bit ago, the John Mayer Sheryl Crow tour. Was that in 2006, I think it was, because I went there with my sister. So, and and because she enjoyed it so much, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So yeah, that's probably my second favorite concert experience. There, you get 2 answers for the price of 1 question. That's a mature attitude for your YouTube stuff. Yeah, you can't expect everybody to like everything. So it's just they're just the turds out there that are make sure that they let you know they don't like it. Which that's another minor annoyance that I have with YouTube is when you see one of the videos, it's one of the best videos that you have ever seen. You can't see how the person could do it any better, for whatever reason, that whether it's the way it's visually, the way it's done, or editorially, or the content, how they express their opinions or whatever. Best video you've ever seen, and sure as shooting, somebody out there is going to thumbs down it. It's just those people are just turds, just turds. Anna, how's it going? So yeah, but hey, no matter where you go in the world, there are always going to be people who are just going to delight in being turds, And those people, honestly, I pity them more than anything else, because they can't get any joy out of their own life, so they just have to suck a little bit of joy out of your life. What are you going to do? Except enjoy your potato chips. That's my new philosophy in life. What can you do but enjoy your potato chips? Except when you're not in the mood for potato chips. But I am today. I love the salt. Yes, Noah, and one of these days we're going to get you a meet and greet with Jack Antonoff, even if I have to bribe somebody or whatever. Especially if you end up missing that thing this year. That bums me out. I can only imagine how freaking bummed you are about it. It bums me out too. But then let's not talk about it because I don't want to bum you out anymore. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Noah is the Jack Antonoff guy. You're going? That makes my freaking day, Noah. Okay, we'll have to talk about what sacrifices you made at some point. Maybe in your next email. My oh so subtle reminder that you haven't replied to my last email yet. because I'm all about subtlety. That is freaking cool. Yep. It was a joke for me for the longest time that I didn't need to follow Jack Antonoff because Noah liked and retweeted all of his tweets. But I eventually decided, oh, what the hell? I'll just follow Jack Antonoff myself. So yes, now I get to read them all twice. So yeah. "45 minutes and 47 seconds. Which means I have about 15 minutes-ish to go. So this has been fun. I always think when I get ready to do a live stream, it's going to be completely pointless because I'm just going to meander on and talk about nothing constructive. And then all you guys show up and have wonderful questions and comments and stuff for me. And you guys just make my lunch hour worth it. Not that it was worth much of anything to begin with, but anyway, you know what I mean. I don't know that I've had 7 viewers at a time before. That's what my viewer count says, 7. I'm a celebrity. I sometimes wonder if I could be a stand-up comedian. I don't know. That's actually something, a small part of me, maybe not so small part of me, has always kind of wanted to give a try to, is stand-up comedy. Maybe seeking out an open mic night or something. I don't know. But then I've never had a bunch of set material because I've never tried. I've never bothered going to an open mic night. I've never bothered to actually accumulate a set of stuff. Maybe one of these days that'll be a dream. Oh, sure, I mentioned my... Oh, never mind. We're just full of ASMR crunchiness today, aren't we? So, yeah. Can't think of much else to say. I can think of much else to say, though. Yeah, that would be one thing that would probably turn people off, is the comedian laughing at their own jokes. Yeah. But yeah, if you were appearing on a stand-up stage somewhere near me, I would pay to see you. I'd pay the 2-drink minimum, and even though I don't drink, and just sit there and watch. Just because some of the words you just pick out of thin air to use are just, I just think they're hilarious. Do I have a habit of laughing at my own jokes? In my head, does that count? I don't know. I do sometimes fancy myself quite funny. Although a lot of times when I say something funny in public that is meant as, okay, I would see, some people having, just like a little smile at, and then it ends up getting an actual laugh out of somebody. That's actually pretty cool, though, I have to say. When you expect less of a reaction, when you get more of a reaction than you're expecting, that's cool. Let's see, what else? Not sure what else I can say. Here's the boring part of the live stream. I was going to say I've only got 5 potato chips left, but 2 of them were hiding under one, so I've actually got 7. I'm just lousy with potato chips here. Worst artists I've seen live in concert? You know, I've been to so few concerts in my life, honestly. I can't think of any that were bad, really. Trying to think of maybe if there was one that was the most underwhelming, or that might actually be the Chicago concert, even though it was one that I went to with my sister. They were, I mean, this was just, several years ago in the last 10 years. So it was not, it was maybe 1 or 2 members of the original Chicago lineup, so it wasn't the classic Chicago or anything. And they were okay. It's just, I enjoyed it more because I was with my sister than because of the music. So that's probably the least remarkable concert I've ever been to. I can't really think of a worst concert I've ever been to. So. Yeah, it's just weird. I'm not a big fan of large crowds or loud noises. That's the main reason why I don't go to very many concerts, even as much as I love music. So. I take that back. The worst concert I went to was with myself, by myself. And it was Ryan Cabrera. And I don't know if any of you guys, some of the fans probably, some of my viewers are probably too young to know who Ryan Cabrera was. But he was actually in Eugene, appeared in Eugene on the tour for his first album. And he was one of those teen pop guys, pop rock, I guess. I mean, he plays his own instruments. But, the audience was 90% girls. And they were screaming at the top of their lungs the entire time. And the music was turned up loud enough to try and drown out the screaming. And I did not have earplugs, which was a big rookie mistake. Did not have earplugs, so it was just all noise to me. And my ears were ringing for about 24 hours after the concert. My ears were still ringing. So, the only reason that was the worst concert was because I couldn't really hear the music. So, yeah. Ryan Cabrera, sorry to say, the worst concert I've ever been to. So I stand corrected by myself. Hey, Craig, how's it going? I still need to listen to your album, actually. I listened to the singles leading up to it, but I haven't listened to your album yet. Or is it an EP? That's how on top of things I am. Yeah. I had a friend who was epileptic. Yeah. And there are 2 or 3 artists, I think, that I have seen more than once in concert. Weird Al Yankovic, of course. I saw him twice, or was it 3 times? Once, shortly after we moved here, he was at the Lane County Fair. So I saw him there. And then at the tour a few years ago, I don't remember if I saw him in between. And a classical comedian, he is no longer with us. He passed away back in 2001. His name was Victor Borge. And, classical music-based comedy. Yes, a very, very eclectic out there thing. But and I didn't get some of the jokes, but he was just funny. He was funny with words. He was a Danish immigrant, so he would speak with just a little bit of broken English and an accent, and part of his humor was based on that English was his second language. So that was part of that was one of the big turn-ons for me for him. And yeah, I saw him twice. That was in Southern California, and then actually been to the Hollywood Bowl. Yes, the Hollywood Bowl, because I used to live down in that area, and saw John Williams conducting an orchestra twice. Actually, no. Actually, I've seen John Williams conducting 3 times because I saw him twice at the Hollywood Bowl, and then a few years ago he conducted the Eugene Symphony. So I've seen him 3 times. So, and you guys probably already know my music crush on John Williams, best film score composer of all time. Period. Full stop. Okay, Star Chaser was a mixtape. No, okay. No, it looks like I've got 2 EPs or mixtapes to listen to. So I got to catch up. And you're working on a full album? Dang. You're just going, no wonder you haven't been on YouTube much lately. So, oh yeah, he was amazing. John Williams was just amazing. Did I enjoy my life in my 20s more or now? Probably now. In my 20s, I was still, you would never know it seeing me now, but in my teens, in my 20s, I was so ridiculously closed up and shy. You had to practically get a frickin' crowbar in my mouth to get me to talk to anybody. That's how horribly shy and closed off I was back then. So yeah, much more enjoy myself now. Plus back then I was not, probably partly because I was so shy, had not learned to embrace my geekiness before then. So yeah. Is Hollywood as awesome as people say it is? I kind of, and I was talking to a friend about this earlier. Hollywood and Los Angeles in general is just kind of meh. That's probably because I grew up in the suburbs of LA. So I did get to meet a celebrity when I was at the Amoeba Music location in Hollywood. Yes, I was down there on vacation from here in California, from here in Oregon. The one day that I was at Amoeba Records in Hollywood, and for the, 2 hours that I was there, that store is so huge it needs much more than 2 hours. Joseph Gordon-Levitt happened to be there shopping. And it was actually my friend that I went there with who saw him and, dragged me by the arm, pulled him over, and I saw him. And I just bent in just quickly enough to say, "Hi, I'm a big fan. I really appreciate your work." And he shook my hand and smiled at me and said, "Thank you." And so Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a pretty cool guy, gotta say. So the girls are probably super hot though, right? I wouldn't know. And we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, Hollywood, it's okay. How's that for an in-depth critique, huh? But obviously, for the people who grew up in a certain place, they're going to be much more, unimpressed by it since they spent their whole lives there. So. You've never seen a movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? 500 Days of Summer. That's probably the one that I would recommend the most. One thing, though, is it takes place out of sequence. The scenes are shown out of sequence, so that might be a little distracting. But once you realize that, or maybe since I told you ahead of time, that won't be so distracting. But that was a good one. Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You. That was a good one. I actually just rewatched that one recently. That was one of Heath Ledger's first movies. So that was good. Kind of like a Chris Nolan, but it's a romantic comedy. So yeah. So So yeah, you will be honeymooning there, and you better take time to visit Amoeba Music, or I'm going to be very, very disappointed in you, Noah. Hopefully, but Alyssa is just awesome, so she will probably let you indulge yourself with that. So. If she doesn't tell her the wedding's off. That was a good lunch. And in exactly 1 hour and 30 seconds, I finished my lunch. So, well, I would love to keep this going, but I am technically on my lunch hour. So, and I am working from home today, so I better get back to work, give myself a few minutes buffer to clean up and everything. But guys, this has been so darn much fun. I love you guys. Have I told you that? I don't tell you that often enough, I don't think. But yeah, I love you guys. Oh, Jack, you're tuning in just as I'm going off the air. Darn. Well, you can watch the replay. But yes, all you guys, if I haven't told you before, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, making this a fun hour. And I should be doing this more often, but, well, I don't. There's my excuse. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll do another one before, well, the big event that's coming up later this summer or not. I am going to be on vacation. I'll just say that. And so I will try to have some videos pre-done and uploaded for timed release while I'm gone. So you guys won't even notice that I'm gone, basically, except that I told you I'm going to be gone. So, but yeah, anyway, yes, thank you guys so much for watching and for tuning in and for making this an enjoyable lunch hour. Love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and happy Juneteenth, everyone. It means all. And farts. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to close out this this live stream. Thanks so much, and once again, because I can't say it enough, I love you guys all so much. Thank you for watching. Take care and have a great rest of your week, and see you soon.